Hi class, my name is Ashley and in today's video I'm going to discuss what a good life looks for me. This vision is shaped by my values, personality, goals, and the psychological concept we learned through all the class. Before anything else, we have to answer one question. What is a good life? In my opinion, this question can be surrounded by ambiguity because there are many ways to answer it, and each answer can differ from culture to culture, to person, and even your idea of a good life can change across time and circumstances. According to the authors of Psychology Applied to Modern Life, cultivating self-knowledge, managing stress, and building healthy relationships are building blocks of satisfying life. You can agree or not with them. As for me, a good life is where I can be true to myself. A life not defined by perfection or constant happiness, but by emotional balance. This idea of a good life isn't about being perfect, it's about being authentic. Psychology teaches that modern life comes with a lot of stress and expectation. That's why understanding ourselves and applying what we know about stress, communication, and personality can help us live better, not just harder. Well, with all this in mind, we can start talking about values and other stuff. Values are those guiding principles that give my life direction and purpose. I want to share some with you. First, empathy and compassion. One of the principal values my parents taught me since I was young was compassion and empathy. My mom used to say that being kind was the door for many opportunities. I don't quite agree with that, but I think that treating others and myself with kindness is crucial for having a good life. I have learned that understanding others and see things from others' perspective helps build strong and healthy relationships. I try to practice this every day by being polite and be there when someone needs me. One is flexibility. Life is weird when you think you have everything figured out. Boom, something unexpected happens. I have learned to roll with the punches that life throws. I am not a most positive person, but my mom is, and she will always encourage me to try my best. With time, I think some of her positivity has been transferred to me, and I try to see challenges as opportunities to grow more than other things. Finally, self-care. I used to think that self-care was a luxury, something that only people with a lot of free time could do, and obviously I wasn't one. Now I think self-care is a necessity. Prioritizing sleep, mental health, and rest empowers me to stay grounded and balanced. These values are not just abstract ideas, these are actionable beliefs that I strive to embody. They guide my decision and action and represent how I want to live my life. Next, I present a list of some action I try to implement daily. Actions keep me focused on what matters even when the world pushes me in other directions. In the first chapter, we discuss how social and cultural factors like digital overload, time pressure, and unrealistic expectation can distort our sense of balance. But these actions help me to keep myself in track and to not forget what is important. Now that we have discussed my values, we cannot forget about my personality as well. As my values, my personality plays a huge role in how I experience the world. According to the Big Five model, a concept that we discussed in chapter 2, I'm high in openness, agreeableness, and neuroticism. I have a big fight with the last one because I experience emotions deeply and sometimes I struggle with stress. While this trait possesses challenges, it also helped me to develop tools like mindfulness and journalism that help me with it. I conclude that the more I understand myself, the more I can grow. And knowing myself also involves knowing where I plan to go. I have set some important goals. In the short term, I want to complete my degree. I also want to maintain my mental health in check and advocate for stability. Along with this, I want to create and stick to a weekly self-care routine and avoid unnecessary debt or spending. These short-term goals are things that I'm not good at and I'm trying to get better. In the long term, I want to get a job, start saving, practice a good relationship with money, become fluent in three languages because I'm not fluent in this one, find work-life balance and explore new cultures. I'm not a person that sticks with itinerary. I'm very open to changes and it's possible that my priorities will change in the future, but what I know for sure is that I want to complete my degree and pursue a PhD in school psychology. These are some of the few things that have been constant since I was an adolescent, and I believe it's mostly because my friends and my parents are always supporting me and give me motivation not to feel down when I have a burnout or when I feel down. Additionally, interpersonal communication has helped me recognize that achieving these goals is not just about working hard, but also building supportive communication relationships. Asking for help and expressing needs clearly are not bad things, and approaching conflict in a healthy way is a fundamental skill for personal and professional growth. And and that brings me to a curious realization: while goals give us direction, the tools and mindset we use turn them into reality. I know I'm getting kind of philosophical here, but you know what? Here's where the concept learned from this class come to hand. The, the first tool I want to talk about is mindfulness, a concept from chapter 3 on stress management. Mindfulness involves present moment awareness and acceptance. Practicing mindfulness reduces anxiety, increases focus, and builds emotional resilience. It helps me stay grounded during stressful and uncertain times. The second one is cognitive reframing, which is rooted in chapter 16 on cognitive behavioral therapy. This technique involves identifying and challenging negative thought patterns. It helped me shift from self-criticism to constructive thinking, which improves emotional regulation and problem solving. The next one is communication skills. As discussed in Chapter 7, interpersonal communication includes active listening, assertiveness, and non-verbal cues. These skills strengthen my relationships by allowing me to express myself clearly while also understanding others. Social psychology insights from chapter 14. These insights explore how social influences like group dynamics, conformity, and stereotypes shape behavior. By recognizing these forces, I'm more mindful of my interactions and more empowered to stand by my values, and also give me the clarity and confidence to move from reflection to action. Now let's look at how I plan to put these insights into practice in my daily life. So how do I put this in action? Daily routines that involve starting each morning with positivity or trying to start with happy thoughts. I set flexible goals and adjust when life throws curveballs. This includes being ready to get stuck in traffic and getting late to either work or class, which happens a lot. So the best thing is not to get stressed about it. And finally, surround myself with people who support me. It's important to know that obstacles will show up, like burnout, self-doubt, distraction, and procrastination. I will try to implement some of the following solutions if that happens. For burnout, I will prioritize rest, break tasks, and include stress-free activities for recovery. For self-doubt, I will practice self-compassion, accept that nothing is perfect, and I will try to focus more on progress than perfection. For distractions and procrastinations, having a time blocking app and limited screen time is a good way, but also applying mindfulness to improve focus is also a good way. Every obstacle presents a chance for growth through self-awareness, emotional regulation, and behavioral changes. To finish this conversation, I want to add that living well is about progress, purpose, and presence. Using self-awareness, values, and psychology, I'm learning to be intentional in life. My vision is practice, not just a plan. I want to become someone who lives with empathy and is curious, someone that faces obstacles with resilience and a strategy, someone that builds meaningful relationships, and someone who honors both joy and struggle. Thanks for spending this time with me and tell me for you what is your vision of a good life.